Welcome back, everybody, to the Baby Back Rip Show, episode number 4. 4 for 4.
This is the Wendy's episode.
This is the Wendy's episode, sponsored by Wendy's. Just kidding. Not yet.
Someday
we will. If you guys haven't already noticed, this is a two-man show today. Jeremiah is unfortunately no longer with us.
Yeah, we had to kick him off the show.
We had to boot him off the show.
Yeah, business decisions had to be made. Budget cuts.
And, with the economy right now, it's a little rough. So
yeah, in this economy, it's hard to sustain a three-man podcast.
So it's back down to a two-man. Jeremiah, we love you, brother.
Yep. Stay safe, brother.
Stay safe. Anyways, let's hop right in to a fantastic week of football.
Yeah, week 11.
Week 11, starting off with a wonderful, well, honestly, kind of a weird Thursday night game. I got to say, this was one of the weirdest games I've seen this season, apart from that Bills-Broncos game.
You know, I'd say a word to describe this would be underwhelming.
Underwhelming for sure is a word,
Yeah.
but I also think it was just really weird. Like with, I don't know, you remember that like 30-second sequence or 2-minute sequence where you had the Ravens get a 60-yard touchdown called back on a holding. That wasn't a holding, by the way. Joe Burrow run off the field with an injury and them stop the game because of a drone. I was completely lost.
In the span of like 2 minutes.
Dude, seriously, like in the span of 2 minutes,
yeah.
It was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, what the fuck is happening? But that really was the biggest, I would say, the most entertaining part of the game, honestly.
Yeah. I'd agree. I would say the least entertaining part is just all the injuries we saw in this game.
Unfortunately, yeah. Logan Wilson.
That man channeled his prime Vontaze perfect out there.
The entire city of Baltimore is going to be has a bounty on your head, brother. So watch out.
Yeah, he definitely got out of there quickly on Thursday night.
Oh, 100%. Man, that dude needs to stop fucking doing those hip drop tackles, though, man. I'm just saying. We're starting to see more and more players get injured. Jordan Travis. Did you see that disgusting fucking injury?
Yeah, that was really hard to watch.
I'm not even going to put it on the screen, but that was disgusting. That was a hip drop. Excuse me. That was a hip drop tackle as well, so kind of interesting to look at that. But anyways, the Ravens beat the Bengals 34-20 in a game that sees Joe Burrow go out for the rest of the year. Reactions?
Brutal loss for the Bengals.
Oh, huge. Just after they started.
They started to kind of get it together again and kind of look like the team that you would see, make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
And then just Joe Burrow out for the rest of the year. That's rough. Because now it's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah, Jake Browning. He really didn't look bad. He did play a lot of garbage time, but I didn't think he really looked bad when he played.
Yeah, he looked like, the average backup quarterback, in the reps that he got in this game.
He was better than Drew Lock.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
In that Rams game.
Yeah.
But anyways, just a really weird game. Very unfortunate losses on both sides. Mark Andrews also out for the year. That really sucks. Hopefully Isaiah Likely can step up for us. But I'll take a win when I can get one, especially when it puts us at the top of the AFC.
Yeah, a win is a win.
A win is a win is a win is a win. So yeah. I'll take it.
I would also say, for Ravens fans out there, it was good to see Odell Beckham start to kind of look like a wide receiver one.
I picked him back up in fantasy. I don't know if you saw that, but 7 targets, 4 catches, 116 yards. It's really good to see Odell get back in the game a little bit. And he missed most of this game too, or not most of this game. I'm sorry, but he was in and out of this game.
He missed a chunk of it due to a Logan Wilson tackle, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think it might have been Logan Wilson.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in and out of this game. Still had a great stat line. I'm sure if he stayed in this game, he could have gotten a couple more targets for sure. But with Mark Andrews out, this isn't a fantasy podcast, but kind of interesting to take a look at him. With the targets now getting funneled another direction.
Yeah, even with Mark Andrews out, I still like the group of skill position players you have for the Ravens. I'm a big Isaiah Likely guy. I liked him coming out of the draft last year. Yeah. And, it'll be nice to see him used a little bit more with the absence of Mark Andrews. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think people are overreacting a little bit with this. Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the league, and it's a huge loss. But at the same time, the Ravens have so many skill, like you said, skill position players that can step up, and we've seen this happen before. This team is very used to this.
This team's very injury prone.
Yeah, I mean, John Harbaugh has gone through it. All right, moving on. Definitely kind of a letdown of a game on Thursday night, unfortunately. Maybe every Thursday is just cursed at this point.
It's the Amazon Prime curse.
It's the yeah, dude. Fuck Jeff Bezos, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
All right,
you've ruined our sport over here,
dude. Seriously. Honestly, a satisfying game, even though the Browns just beat my Ravens, but the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 13-10 in a mid-off of the century.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I'm very happy we got the pick'em wrong.
That's very true. I think we picked the Steelers definitely with DTR being the quarterback, and he still didn't play good at all. He did have a couple of good passes towards the end of the game.
I mean, yeah, no, that final drive to get the game-winning field goal for the Browns, I would say
he stepped up.
Yeah, he had a really good drive. I think he went like 4 for 5, and that one missed pass was a spike. Yes. So it came up clutch, I guess, when the Browns needed it.
Yes.
And I mean, honestly, it was just good to see DTR out there. Because when he's the quarterback for this team, it's a lot easier to like the Browns. I'll say that.
Yes.
Due to them not having a sexual predator at quarterback anymore.
Yeah, Dorian Thompson-Robson's not out here, going to massage parlors and stuff. Sure.
Yeah, and I mean I do hope he succeeds in being the starting quarterback for at least the rest of the season. Because I mean he's a really passionate guy. You guys saw it. He was out there crying on the field after the Browns win.
Was he?
He was out there. Yeah, he was getting really emotional. Nice. So, yeah.
Is he a UCLA product?
He is. He was the quarterback at UCLA.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Sharby's teammate.
Yeah, he was handing it off to Zach Charbonnet last season.
What a lucky guy. Yeah. The run game. What's interesting to me is the Browns win this game despite the run game not really being there. Kareem Hunt is the most efficient among the Browns starting running backs. I mean, the other running backs had 1 carry. That doesn't count. But Kareem Hunt, 3 yards a carry. Jerome Ford, 2.6 yards a carry. And they still win this game. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson averages 3.8 yards per pass. I mean, any given Sunday, I guess.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, obviously you can tell by the score this was a very defensive game. And I think this game kind of shows you the impact that a guy like Myles Garrett has on the football field. Because, I mean, if you didn't think that he was pound for pound the best player in the NFL before, I mean, you got to at least throw him into consideration now with just how good he is as a football player and how he's able to just win games single-handedly, it seems like, for the Cleveland Browns.
That dude literally wins games, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but speaking of run games, Jaylen Warren had a really, really good game. Despite low carries, which, I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 carries, 129 yards for a touchdown. That one touchdown, I think, coming on a 74-yard run. Yeah, I mean, Jaylen Warren listed as the RB1 going into this game, but still got out-carried by Najee Harris. Hopefully, that'll be a thing of the past due to the firing of one Matt Canada.
Congratulations, Steelers fans. I'm happy for all.
Yeah, Steelers fans rejoice.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to find this video right now, but I can't really find it. But I was watching this game at lunch, and Kenny Pickett had a throw.
I think I did see this.
Did you see this?
I think
under
I did.
2 minutes, Kenny Pickett threw the ball. I want to say kind of towards like the Browns 40-yard line. Just heaved it, and it was nowhere near anybody on the football field. Not even a Cleveland Browns defender was near it.
Yeah, I remember.
It was ridiculous.
Like there was nobody in sight.
There was nobody in sight. I don't get it. I don't know if he was seeing ghosts out there, like Sam Darnold.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's Matt Canada. I mean, Matt Canada definitely has a part in this, but Kenny Pickett does not look good. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I know you guys are excited after he had a good preseason, but
yeah, I mean, I would say he's definitely in the running for the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people for that running. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen this many backup quarterbacks at this part in the year. It's crazy. You have Deshaun Watson out for the year. You have Joe Burrow out for the year. You have Anthony Richardson out for the year.
Daniel Jones.
Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins. That's ridiculous, man. That's like almost that's a little less than a third of the league, pretty much. Starting to have their starting quarterbacks out for the year, and even Lamar was getting hurt in that Thursday night game. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, I'm not really much else to talk. I think we said last week when we picked this game, we were like the final score is going to be like 10-6 or 10-7 or something like that. So
yeah,
we're kind of right on the money about that. But that was an easy prediction.
Yeah, I mean, two of the best edge rushers going at it with T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett.
That's true.
So, yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next game. The Bears beat the, or I'm sorry, not the Bears. The Bears could have beat them. Yeah, holy shit, man. Yeah. What the fuck? The Lions beat the Bears 31-26 after the Bears blow a 12-point lead.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I want to say it was a 2-score lead.
It was definitely a 2-score lead, 2 touchdown around that vicinity. Yeah. But how did they do this, man?
You know,
just a complete meltdown.
Yeah. I really don't even know how something like this happens. I mean, you let up 17 fourth quarter points to the Detroit Lions. I mean, I know they have a great offense, but you know, they couldn't get anything right. It seems like all game, and then just out of nowhere, just this explosion of points. Yeah, brutal loss for the Chicago Bears.
You know, good for Detroit though. They're now 8-2, and or are they 9-2? I can't read.
8-2.
They're 8-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them, man. They're looking good.
Yeah, no, it was good to see them win a close game like this. You know, because I mean, I think a lot of teams, you know, in this kind of situation, the Lions would be in, would just kind of you know, take their L and get out of there. But they decided, you know, they're never gonna back down. They're never gonna give up.
They're not gonna. So, yeah, they remember what Nick K30 said halfway through the fourth quarter, and
yes, they did,
and they didn't back down. Justin Fields gets back in the running game, 104 yards on the ground.
I thought he had a pretty good game overall.
I think Justin Fields hasn't been horrible this year. Yeah,
I mean, really,
I just think they're honestly the Bears' biggest problem is their defense.
That and really like. Outside of like DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, there's really nobody for Fields to throw the ball to. No. Like I know you have Darnell Mooney, but
he gets one target in this game.
Yeah, and honestly, I just don't think he's that guy. Like respectfully, Darnell Mooney.
Hey, we had another brother matchup in this game: Monroe St. Brown versus Equanimous St. Brown.
Equanimous.
Equanimous.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that, another brotherly matchup there. Another interdivisional matchup there as well. So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. RIP Bears fans, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess you guys are in the race for Caleb Williams.
I would say the Lions need this win more than you guys, though, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions, you know, just kind of running away with the NFC North now.
Okay, so this next game, we got the Green Bay Packers defeating the Los Angeles Chargers. This is another one we got wrong in our pick'ems. We got the Steelers one wrong as well. We still kind of cooked though. I think we're like 32-30. I need to check.
I think we did cook in the pick'ems.
We only have 10 losses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, so the Packers beat the Chargers 23-20. And you got to feel for Justin Herbert. I don't know how many drops were in this game, but I know Quentin Johnston had a key drop that would have been a touchdown and would have won them the game.
God, Quentin Johnston,
that twice, dude.
He's reaching like Jalen Reagor territory.
It's very like confusing though, because when you look at Quentin Johnston, this is a guy who came out of. I just pulled a Chris Collins or why did I forget his name?
Chris Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah.
This is a guy who.
Now here's a guy.
Anyways, this is a guy who, when coming out of college, checked all the boxes. Dominated as a true freshman, just a really good prospect. Went to a great offense, great quarterback throwing to him, and then you even have Mike Williams and Joshua Palmer go on IR, and the dude, I don't know what's happening, man.
Yeah, this is just like, brutal. Because I think you throw any other rookie wide receiver in this situation that he's in right now, they are putting up fantastic numbers. Like I couldn't imagine how well, I guess I could imagine how a Jordan Addison would do, but like a Zay Flowers or like a Michael Wilson or just any of those guys would be like would be performing so well with this type of with this role, and it's just like it can't seem to get it right with Quentin Johnston, and it's just brutal.
Well, like I think if you put Jordan Addison in here, he's succeeding. We've already seen that with the Vikings. He stepped up. If you put JSN in here, he's succeeding. He's already looking good on the Seahawks, and he's fighting with two other already really good pass catchers.
Like a Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, Puka Nacua, obviously.
Yeah.
No, it's very disappointing. I mean, it sucks. Maybe he can turn it around. He is only a rookie, but I hope the best for you, man. I hope you're able to turn that around.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to come back from that.
Yeah. Another thing I want to say is for the Chargers, dude, get Brandon Staley the fuck out of there.
Oh my gosh, that guy is horrible.
We're reaching like Arthur Smith levels of like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like you're supposed to be this defensive guru, and like you have star players on the defense, like legitimate stars, like Joey Bosa and Derwin James Jr.
Absolute studs.
And like you still have just terrible defense.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like you're over here like getting mad at reporters because they're questioning your play calling.
Lost his mind.
Yeah,
not lost his mind. It was it was like a lowercase type of yelling, but he still kind of snapped at a reporter, and it's just like
lowercase yelling.
Yeah, for real. But it's just I don't know, dude. It's just like Keenan Allen though dominates in this game. 16 targets. Wow.
Yeah, I mean he's the only guy that can catch the ball.
He
had a brutal drop in this game too. If I remember, I think he dropped a touchdown.
Oh damn!
I want to say
poor Herbie, man.
Yeah, and then you got Eckler out here looking like Eddie Lacy, fumbling at the goal line. Just my God, dude.
That man reached like a top speed of. I don't know. It's weird. Eckler was always that explosive, fast player.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he had a Thanksgiving early out there.
Yeah, for real. That was a really weird play. One of the reasons why I didn't want to draft him in fantasy, just because I figured this would be a slow down year for him.
Yeah, after seeing that, I'm glad I didn't.
Well, the biggest thing with Austin Eckler, why I didn't draft him, was because I figured with a healthy Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, he wasn't going to get as many targets. Now you have no Mike Williams, you have no Joshua Palmer, and I don't know, still just it's whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, shout out to the Packers though, getting this win.
Yeah.
Jordan Love looking pretty good. I mean, had a really solid game, and it seems like week after week he's kind of slowly becoming the answer for the franchise quarterback for the Packers. He's kind of eliminating those questions.
What do you think is the fix then? What do you think that this team needs to turn a 4-6 record to a 6-4 record? Like, why are they losing games?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. This team is the youngest team in the NFL.
Are they really?
They are.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And so I think it's just a matter of time and just kind of building chemistry and just kind of just getting it all together.
Yeah.
And I think they need to figure out like who the real wide receiver one on this team is. And, I think filling a little bit of holes on the defense would definitely help as well. And maybe even get some O-line in there. I mean, there's still questions about this Packers team, but I would say, quarterback as of right now, it doesn't really look like one of them. So, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good place to start, is finding your franchise quarterback.
And then build from there.
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to the receivers as well. I mean, you saw Romeo Doubs get a touchdown here. Christian Watson get a touchdown. Dontavion Wicks had a good game. Unfortunately, you saw Luke Musgrave go out. I think he is heading to IR.
Ooh,
which sucks because I was a big fan of him coming out of Oregon State, and I thought he was going to be a solid rookie there. But
I feel like we've had a lot of promising rookie tight ends this
year. Yeah, it was a solid tight end class.
And then we got Brock Bowers.
Yeah, just adding on to that.
Getting drafted next year. Hopefully, the tight end position starts to be on the come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really watch much of this game, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
Where's my mouse? All right, so this next game, the Dolphins beat the Raiders, and honestly, kind of a surprisingly weird fashion. They only win by 7. The Raiders were able to keep it close, and most importantly, be able to kind of keep this Dolphins offense. Other than Tyreek Hill, obviously Tyreek Hill is gonna fucking do Tyreek Hill things, but
yeah,
kind of able to keep this offense a little bit slowed down.
Yeah, they contained it a little bit when it comes to the scoring, at least. And I'd say that, like, you didn't really see the run game get going for the Dolphins here. But yeah, I would say for the Dolphins, this was a defensive masterclass, and I mean, you kind of seen it week after week since they got Jalen Ramsey back. They've looked like
a really good defensive team,
a great defensive team, and I mean that's really all you can ask for. I mean, shout out to Jalen Ramsey. It just seems like since he came back, he's just been like the glue guy for this defense.
That's all you can hope for, man.
Yeah, and I mean, if you really look at the other side, Aiden O'Connell had a couple boneheaded interceptions in there. But I would say he didn't have the worst game in the world. Definitely not the worst game this week for a quarterback. We'll get to that later. But yeah, he targeted Devontae Adams a lot, which I mean, that's a quarterback's best friend right there. That's what you want to do if you're
sure.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Devontae Adams been begging for targets. It seems like, well, I would say begging, but it's like people who watch football have probably been begging Devontae Adams to get thrown the ball more, and you see that in this game. So yeah, that's really all I got for this one.
Yeah, man, it's good to see Tyreek eat from my fantasy team.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope he's okay with that hand injury though. He said that he should be good, but he's just sad he can't play Fortnite. Yeah. Honestly, respect. I would be depressed too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure if a certain Cardinals quarterback said that, the backlash would be a little bit different. But
yeah, if he couldn't play Call of Duty.
Yeah, whatever. But I will say though, I mean, with how good Tyreek Hill's been and with how lackluster the quarterback play has been this year, I could say, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw him get some MVP votes. Well, I mean,
100%.
He probably won't get any because the MVP award's a quarterback award now.
It's so stupid how it's like that though.
Yeah,
it really is dumb. I mean, who is your guys' MVP? Because to me, it's either Tyreek or even actually, the 49ers have been winning without McCaffrey dominating the past. Well, he's been getting. To me, it's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
It's a skill, or it's Myles Garrett. Like, I think we need to get rid of this because no quarterback this year, besides CJ Stroud, obviously, has really, like, blown me away. Like, pause. But has, like, really, like taken me by surprise. But there's been a lot of skill position players that are dominating right now. Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Myles Garrett. TJ Watt could have won it one of those other years when he won defense play. Like I don't know.
Yeah, when he tied the sack record.
Yeah, like come on. We need to start giving this to people who are winning games and they're not even a quarterback. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, when Cooper Kupp had an insane year.
Yeah.
Definitely could have gotten some votes there.
All right. Let's move on to the next game. I would say like the Raiders did did lose this game and kind of cool off from their little fiery start with their new head coach, but I will say they didn't play horrible except for Aiden O'Connell kind of making rookie plays,
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're kind of, they're putting it together, which, after firing McDaniels, that's really all you could ask for. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, obviously, but, they're going to go out here and win a couple of games down the stretch.
Exactly. All right, this next game, man, if you told me this would be the final score, I don't even care how good the Washington Commanders are. If you told me this was the final score last week, I would have said you're fucking crazy. The New York Giants beat the Washington Commanders 31-19. Tommy fucking DeVito. The DeVito man. The chicken cutlet man that still lives at home sucking on his mama's titties man.
Jesus Christ.
3 touchdowns, bro. A passer rating of 137.7. I don't know if anyone cares about passer rating at all, but this man dominated the QB matchup with Sam Howell, which is just, I don't know how this happened.
Yeah, Sam Howell had a rough game.
Excuse me.
And it goes to show you how valuable a player like Dexter Lawrence is. Another one of those guys is an absolute game wrecker on the defensive side of the football, just causing problems for Sam Howell and this Commanders offense all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in total they had 6 turnovers in this game, which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like this is the type of game where I mean, like it's like Ron Rivera. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
We gotta get you out of there, my guy.
Eric Bieniemy would be a fantastic head coach.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see it. Kind of give him some run as the head coach, even if it's just for the rest of the season. I mean, same thing with the Chargers. I think they should give their offensive coordinator Kellen Moore a little bit of run as their interim,
Yeah.
just to see how it goes. Because I mean, it's like you're probably not going to make the playoffs, so it's like really, what do you have to lose by keeping these guys around?
Well, it's like to me, it just doesn't make sense when you look. And this strengthens Eric Bieniemy's head coaching case this season, in my opinion, where you see him leave the Chiefs, and now look at their offense. They can't score in the fucking second half, 2 weeks in a row, 2 games in a row at least.
I mean, we'll get into that. I think we'll get into that later.
You know what I mean, though.
I
was
do.
running the most dominant offense in sports.
Yeah, and I mean there were a lot of questions about that because a lot of people asking. I was like, is it Bieniemy? Is it Reed? And I feel like at the end of the day, it was probably a combination of both.
It's a combination of both for sure. But I think when you see an offensive coordinator leave like that, and then the offense starts to slow down like the Chiefs are this year, you really start to realize, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And I think that if that doesn't prove his point as he should be a head coach, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I mean, overall, brutal game for the Commanders.
Yeah, man. I don't know how this happens. Good for Saquon Barkley, though, getting back on top, having a good game.
Yeah, shout out Saquon Barkley. I mean, you want to talk about guys carrying the offense. It's kind of what it's kind of what he has to do for the Giants, it seems like, year in and year out. Last year, I mean, basically they made that playoff run off of his back. So, it's kind of like Tommy DeVito kind of just, went to the watering hole, just kind of, gave it to Saquon however he could.
Yeah, he Tommy DeVito had a good game. I think people need to fucking relax about the living at home thing, man. If the guy wants to live at home still, let him live at home.
Dude, who cares?
Dude, who cares? The man's throwing 3 touchdowns.
Despite getting sacked 9 times.
He got sacked 9 times.
9 times.
Yeah, good for him, man.
My God.
Nothing wrong with being a family man.
I didn't even notice that.
Nothing wrong with wanting to be close to your family. I support it. And chicken cutlets. I don't know if you've ever had chicken cutlet before.
I've not, dude.
Some good chicken cutlet. That's very understandable why you want that every night. Anyways, Giants completely take us by surprise here, and maybe it's time to start. I don't know if this is just a complete meltdown by the Commanders or if it's a good game by the Giants. Maybe a little mix of both.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Giants are getting a little bit of a new breath. I'm not going to say that they're going to be doing anything anytime soon, but I'm just saying that this shows maybe we can't count them out of every single game.
I mean, yeah, they won a game.
They have won a game. This next game will be quick. I mean, nothing really to super talk about here, but the Cowboys beat the Carolina Panthers 33-10 in a complete domination. I said the Panthers last week to win this game just for the fuck of it. I really didn't actually think they would. Okay, come on. We still.
Oh, now you're gonna take it back. All right.
We'll get to another game that I'm gonna take back later. But Bryce Young continues to just. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's because he has no pass catchers. He does have Adam Thielen, but that's really it.
That's it.
That's stepping up. I mean, you got guys like Steven Sullivan. Never heard of this man.
Who in the fuck is
Jonathan Mango? 6 targets, gets 1 catch. Tommy Tremble. Bro, I don't know.
I know the name Jonathan Mingo and Tommy Tremble and LaVisca
Oh, I know
Chenault.
the names.
Who the fuck is Steven Sullivan?
Steven Sullivan. What is that? It sounds like a 60s porn star name, bro.
7th round pick in 2020 at LSU.
Man, good for him for getting a catch.
Getting some reps out
20
there.
20 yards.
Yeah, shout out to him.
But I mean, come on, man. This guy doesn't have. But you know what though? I'm not. Let me ask you this, Cole. Do you think that if you switch Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud and C.J. Stroud was on the Panthers, do you think this is happening? Because if you look at the Texans, like before we knew this offense would be this good, we would have never thought that a receiving core of Tank Dell, Nico Collins,
Robert
and
Woods,
Noah Brown, and Robert
Yeah.
Woods would dominate like this. But they are. They're putting up like the most passing yards per game in the league, I think. So I think when you look at that, you kind of see, okay, is that an excuse? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Because a great quarterback elevates his receivers no matter how no name or bad they are.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to blame this all on Bryce Young. I kind of just want to say like it might be just like bad play calling and just I don't know,
Coaching.
yeah, bad coaching because I don't know. There's just something about Frank Reich. It seems like
The Third Reich.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, you saw Bryce Young get sacked 7 times in this game, and I mean, the Panthers don't have the worst offensive line in the world. They had a pretty solid offensive line last year, but it just seems like every time Frank Reich goes to a team, it seems like their offensive line gets way worse. Like you saw it last year with the Colts. They have one of the best guards in the entire in the entire NFL with Quentin Nelson. Yet, their starting quarterback last year was getting sacked,
Like 1,000 times. They had like the best offensive line.
Yeah.
When Jonathan Taylor was running dudes over and was the number one fantasy player, they had a fantastic offensive line.
And I mean, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I think you might have to change up the head coaching here for the.
Yeah, I'm
for the
surprised that man
Panthers.
still has a job too. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of flying under the radar because everyone's just kind of pissed at Brandon Staley and Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a lot of head coaching questions in the NFL this year, and it's hard to keep a focus on all of them. And I mean, if that's really all I've got for the Panthers, but I mean for the Cowboys, I'd say the highlight here, Tony Pollard gets a touchdown.
Oh my gosh, yes,
he got a touchdown.
We love that in my work league, bro. Touched a tutty for Tony Pollard for the first time since week one against the Giants, and a freaking like what is it, 40-0?
40-0.
Yeah, good for him, man. And he averaged 5.1 yards per carry on the way to that tutty. So
yeah,
nice job, Tony Pollard.
Yeah, okay, I think we spent enough time in this game.
Yeah,
let's get the hell out of here.
Good for you, Cowboys. Nice job.
Yep.
You beat the league's punching bag. All right. So for this next game, my friend, you do not have to drink any coffee with mayo in it. I don't know if you were ever even worried about that.
I was not.
But the Jaguars did beat the Titans 34-14. Really should be 34-0. I think the Titans had maybe one garbage time touchdown. And I think it was to Jeffrey Simmons getting in on the tutty.
He did have a 2-yard
big man
touchdown.
Very random. I don't know. Just usually like teams do that when they're winning, and they want to switch it up. But the Titans were losing by like 27 points, and they're like, you know what? Fuck this shit, man. Let's get Jeffrey Simmons into the end zone.
Yeah, they just
I respect it.
They're like, let's go out there, let's have some fun, I guess. And I hope they had fun for that one play, but the Jaguars, as I predicted, rolled over this game.
Question for you. Is Derrick Henry washed? Or is this just a horrible offensive line?
Oh, man. I mean,
this is now the second week in a row that he's not really done anything on the ground.
Yeah, I mean.
And Tajay Spears continues to kind of, because with Tajay Spears, you have the receiving role. You have and they've been using him for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say Henry's washed because I do want to say this offensive line is atrocious out here. But, I mean, I would say, I would like to see a little bit more carries to Tajay Spears for sure. Just because I think he is kind of the more explosive back when it comes to Henry and Spears. But, I mean, I don't think Henry's washed. I just think this is like, I don't know. This might just be like a down year for Derrick Henry.
Sure. I think he's 30 now. So this is usually the type of, I'm not counting anyone out, but this is usually the time that.
He is 29. Turns 30 in January.
Oh, okay. Well, usually around 30 is when running backs start to hit their decline.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's something to watch. Calvin Ridley does bounce back in this game. 7 catches for 103 yards, 2 tutties. Good to see that, man. I don't know why. Like he's just been up and down. He's kind of been like a Gabe Davis, like an elite Gabe Davis. So this year,
Elite
honestly.
Gabe Davis. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you saw game manager Trevor Lawrence here have a really solid game. Hopefully beating the game manager allegations
I
set
don't
by
know.
my co-hosts last week.
I don't think it's beating the allegations, man. I think I need to see more from him against a better team.
All right. I was just,
I'm not a Trevor Lawrence hater whatsoever. I really like the guy. I'm always rooting for him.
Yeah, no,
But I mean, we were kind of talking about him last week, and I guess that's just what comes to my mind when I think of Trevor Lawrence as just a game manager.
I mean, yeah, the Jaguars won this in a blowout. I'm just hoping you guys put a little bit more respect on his name. That's all.
All right. All right. I mean, Will Levis and his Mayo-filled meat did not get it done.
No, it did not.
The Jaguars come out victorious. Our next game. Oh man, do you even want to talk about this game?
Fortunately, we have to if we're running through all of these.
The NFL referees 21 beat the Arizona Cardinals 21-16.
Just the referees and Marco Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch this game. I watched this game at lunch. Off and on, and I didn't really see. Well, what? Tell me from your perspective what the refs were doing.
It just seems like they were not like.
Give me. Do you have an example?
I'm trying to remember. There was. Oh my God, there is one. Okay, so there was a Texans punt, right? The Texans punted the ball, and the ball bounces off a Texans player. Okay. And it was very clear that it bounced off a Texans player. Yet, for some reason, even after review, the referees ruled it a fumble on the Cardinals that was recovered by the Texans. So instead of it being the Cardinals' ball, the Texans got the ball inside their own red zone. So, just like. And there was other calls too. Unfortunately, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I mean it was a brutal referee game.
And so, question for you: what part of the game was that at?
This was, I want to say, in the third quarter, if I remember correctly. So this was when the game was still pretty close.
Damn. Yeah, that sucks, man. You hate to see games close games like this just get decided by the referees. I wouldn't Super Bowl 57.
I mean, I wouldn't say this was decided by the referees, but the referees definitely did not help the matter at all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at the stat line for CJ Stroud, 300 yards, nice, but 3 interceptions. So it kind of seems like this Jonathan Gannon defense really. I mean, kind of just got to C.J. Stroud, and it's kind of the first defense we've seen do that. I mean, at least a little bit. I mean, still had a solid game outside of the picks, but unfortunately for the Cardinals, they I don't think they scored off any of these interceptions, which is really unfortunate. And I mean, you can't really blame the refs for that. So, you gotta work on that scoring on crucial turnovers like that.
Yeah, especially from a guy like C.J. Stroud who's been freaking on point all year. I mean, he has a rookie game here though. People are saying 3 interceptions. Okay, the dude's a rookie. What has Bryce Young been doing?
Yeah, I mean, he's still the clear favorite for rookie of the year. But I would say that this type of game is something that knocks him out of MVP talks.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes could do this tomorrow. You know what I mean? This is definitely something that happens. But I think he'll bounce back. And they still got the win, so. Fuck it, bro. We ball.
Yeah, and I mean, they got the win, and I mean, they got a crucial matchup next week that we'll get into, and it seems like everything's clicking for the Texans right now, which is what you love to see.
They're 6-4. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, no, me either. Going into this year, I thought it would have been a lot more growing pains going into this season, but it seems like they already got it somewhat put together already, and
they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, good for the Bucs. Love to see it. I love to see underdog teams like that start to overperform.
Yeah.
All right, so the San Francisco 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-14. 49ers look dominant yet again. I will say that, and I'm just calling this out because they have those stupid little rivalry, but it's fun. But Nick Bosa did horse collar the fuck out of Baker Mayfield at the end of the game. I don't really think it matters at all, but he tried to talk shit to Baker after that too. And I'm like, come on, dude. You're already winning the game, and you just horse collared the man. I don't know. I didn't really like that. But you know the beef between Baker and Nick, right?
I do.
From their college days.
Yeah, the stamp and the flag in the middle of the field.
Yeah, dude, I love that shit.
As an
man.
Oklahoma fan, I'm fully aware of that, brother.
You an Oklahoma fan?
I am.
Oh yeah, because you're a Thunder fan too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I love to see little rivalries like that. And I'm glad they're keeping it into the NFL. I wonder what Nick Bosa said to Baker though.
I mean, knowing him, he could have said anything.
Probably called him the N-word. Brock Purdy plays great. He has a perfect passer rating.
Perfection from Brock Purdy.
Absolute perfection. The last 49ers quarterback to do this was a guy, just, a little known guy by the name of Joe Montana. So
I did not know that.
I would say he's in good company. Yeah. I saw that on the TV, man.
I'm glad you watched the
ESPN
game.
stat for you there.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk continues to just look incredibly efficient. This dude is averaging this man averaged 31.2 yards per catch.
I'm seeing that. That's crazy.
Wow. Shout out to my ASU boy over there. Two ASU guys getting a tutty in this game actually, Rashad White and Brandon Ayuk. Shout out to the ASU boys.
Yeah, look at that.
And yeah, I don't know. Not much to say about this game. Bucks continue to just look super mid.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. They're kind of looking like the team that we kind of thought they would be. And I would say for the 49ers, I mean, if Brock Purdy continues to play like this, well, not exactly like this, because I mean he's not going to be perfect every week when it comes to passer rating. But if he plays really good games like this week after week, I mean that's really all you need for the 49ers to make a Super Bowl run.
Oh yeah, and the dude's already got playoff experience.
Yeah, and
that's for sure.
Yeah, but I mean on the on the injury side, you saw the 49ers safety Talanoa Hufanga. I think out with a torn ACL, going to miss the rest of the year. Just a brutal loss there for the 49ers. But
even more brutal the way he did it, man.
Yeah, I did see that. That was rough.
His ACL torn after getting juked the fuck out of Rashad White. But R.I.P. to my boy, dude. That does suck. Little mini Troy Polamalu over there.
Yeah. But I mean, if any team can, still have a good defense while missing one of their best players, I think it's the 49ers. Or I should say one of the best players on the secondary.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, man, good for the Niners, looking good again.
Yeah, just rolling.
Two very bounce back. They look like their early season form again.
Yeah, when they were 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, this next game, the Buffalo Bills defeated the New York Jets 32-6. Honestly, not much to say here. We did see I'm sure you saw this, Robert Saleh get hit by Zach Wilson, and he tackled Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Probably had some little suppressed anger there that he could take out finally.
Well, I don't know, man. Robert Saleh's been like a Zach Wilson supporter all year.
He's been a Zach Wilson dick rider all fucking year, man.
It's been really weird to see.
And you know what? I do think that that's good, because as a coach, you don't want to be the guy that's calling out your quarterback to the press.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you want to call him out in practice. You want to call him out in the film room. But dude, I mean, if you're a coach and you're calling out your quarterback in front of the press and in public, that's fuck you, man. That's lame. So I stick by him. I do think deep down he knows he's ass, but I just don't think he's gonna ever say that because he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, but he didn't stick by him for this entirety of this game because you saw Zach Wilson get benched for Tim Boyle.
Former Packer,
one of Aaron Rodgers' good buddies. As you can say with a lot of these teammates here in New York. But yeah, he's actually been named the starting quarterback moving forward. Do I think the Jets are going to improve because of that? No, but I mean, I guess you got to do something, right?
Trevor Seaman on this roster?
Trevor Siemian is on the roster, and he was actually
Where's
named
he at?
as the backup for moving forward because Zach
Oh,
Wilson moved to QB3.
he's third string
He
now.
is third string. So
Wow, that's
yeah,
fucking.
let me confirm this real quick. Go to the Jets depth chart. Yeah, there he is. Look at that, number 3.
Wow.
I know. Just
They should put him QB4. So even if like Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian get injured, just put out a freaking torn Achilles. Aaron Rodgers is probably better.
yeah, probably. We're getting closer and closer to maybe seeing Aaron Rodgers take another step back.
Oh,
on
you
the
know that
field
dude's
this season.
itching to get back, dude.
He is itching. I agree.
Especially as the AFC starts to get way more competitive.
Yeah.
Oof.
Getting down to
There's
the
only
wire
so much
here.
time to start winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bills bounce back, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, this was their first game with the new offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, after firing Ken Dorsey. And I mean, there really wasn't that big of a difference in the offense, kind of what most
no.
people saw. I would just say the main thing is I guess they executed a little bit better in the red zone because I mean all year they've been a pretty bad red zone team. But I mean, it seemed like they looked a lot more comfortable down there, which is good. But I mean, overall, it was kind of mostly the same play calling, mostly the same stuff that you would have seen with Ken Dorsey as the OC.
Correct.
And I mean, I will say, shout out to Khalil Shakir. 3 receptions, 115 yards on a touchdown. Great game for him. Kind of showing, that he's,
Explosive.
Probably a better receiver than Gabe Davis.
Dude, I don't know what to do with Gabe Davis, man.
Drop him.
I know, but for some reason, I don't know, dude. I don't get it. How many targets did he have in this game? None. He's not even on the receiving box score.
Did he miss this game?
No, dude. When I look at him in fantasy, he says he was healthy. Has that little green healthy thing.
So he just didn't get any targets.
I guess he just was a freaking.
He's just out there.
Vegetable out there, bro.
Yeah, he's just working on
Nothing
cardio.
Burger.
Yeah.
A blocker. I don't know. I like Gabe Davis, man. He's best friends with not best. Was just he's friends with
Shane Gillis, right?
Shane Gillis, yeah. And he did that dance that.
I think I
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It was like the fuck, I can't remember what he does, but it's that video of that kid who just got like his haircut. And,
oh yeah, I think I know what dance you're talking
shit's
about.
so funny. But he actually got him to do it. Anyways, moving on. The Los Angeles Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 17-16, and another kind of mid-off. Like neither team has a good game at all. The Rams barely won this game. I would say a lot of it has to do with Geno Smith coming out and Drew Lock not doing anything. 3 yards. 3 yards, bro, and a pick.
Yeah, this is
all I gotta say is if Geno Smith is missing Thursday night,
he's expected to play.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say it. Like if Geno Smith is missing against fucking San Fran, the Seahawks are fucked.
Yeah, this was a game the Seahawks needed to win badly.
Oh, needed. When you have a matchup like this and you have Matthew Stafford not playing well, you have Cooper Kupp out of the game. I would say he was out with like the second half, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, dude, you gotta take advantage of that. You gotta win, man, and especially when you're competing with the Niners for the NFC West. That sucks to lose that game, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, and like the Seahawks had every opportunity to win this game, and it just kind of seems like they just did all the wrong things that you could in this game. But yeah, like I said, this is a must-needed win for the Seahawks because I mean, their schedule after this is brutal. Their next 4 games.
Oh my gosh, they got the hardest schedule in the league.
Next 4 games. Thursday night against 49ers.
Sure.
Next week, you got the Cowboys at Dallas. Then you got the 49ers in San Francisco. Then you got the Eagles. See any wins there, Otto? For the 6-4 team?
The only win I could see is one of the Niner games. Because they're divisional opponents, and they could, since they play so close, they could figure out. But man, that's a hard fucking schedule, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I would have.
This team could be 6-8.
I know.
After that stretch, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're going into this 4-game stretch here, 6-4. You would much rather be 7-3. But yeah, just in a disaster class in that final drive, I must say. Just hitting all the wrong plays. You have about 20 seconds left, and you decide to run an inside zone instead of getting a couple pass plays off to make a 55-yard field goal and do a 45-yard field goal. And I know for a lot of kickers, 55 yards isn't like insane, but you would feel a lot more comfortable with your kicker out there hitting a 45-yarder instead of 55.
Yeah.
So
55 isn't necessarily desirable.
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out. Well, he wasn't necessarily like super efficient, like 3.1 yards per carry, but Kenneth Walker did leave this game, and I kind of got excited. Well,
I was not.
I should take that back. I didn't get excited that Kenneth Walker got hurt. I hope he's okay. I hope he gets better. But I did get excited to see Zach Charbonnet get that full workload, and he did get 6 catches. I mean, this dude is obviously a receiving back, which is real. Those are my favorite type of backs for those PPR points, baby. But I think we might see Sharp get unleashed, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Kenneth Walker's not going to be, good to go for the Thanksgiving game against the 49ers. So
Thanksgiving night, you get to see my boy.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who did recently acquire Kenneth Walker in fantasy, it's just a brutal.
Did you?
I did. Sometime last
in our league.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so yeah, very unfortunate to see Kenneth Walker go out. But yeah, I mean, maybe Zach Charbonnet could grab that RB1 spot by the horns and just kind of show why. Yeah, just go out there and just dominate.
I mean, that I don't know if you watch like him play, bro. But like that dude when he's running, bro, like people bounce off him. People bounce off him, bro. Like linebackers. It's crazy. But he's definitely like a very good runner. He knows where he's going. He's got good elusiveness, and he's also just hard to bring down. So yeah, man, I'm excited to watch him Thursday night against San Fran. I mean, tough matchups to be a starter in, but fuck, man, if he can do well, then it'd be big statement games for him.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna need him to play well if they if the Seahawks want to somehow get a win.
Yeah,
so I mean they're gonna need it. So,
all right, brother, let's move on to the Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah,
2 of the biggest win streaks in the NFL to meet together, and the Broncos come out victorious, 21-20, just barely. Yet again, they do this. Where you think the Vikings are winning, and then they kind of implode a little bit towards the end, and the Broncos get not only a 4th and 3 conversion with Courtland Sutton making that one-hand catch, but also the crazy, well, not as crazy as the one he had last week. Was that last week or against the Bills? 2 weeks ago.
That was.
I can't remember when he had that really crazy toe.
That like Tyler Lockett type catch.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I think that was last week. It was last week, or like not last week, but like the week before.
When they played the Bills, right?
Yeah, on the Monday night game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so makes another pretty crazy catch. Courtland Sutton looks good, man. He's making some crazy plays.
Yeah, he's been great.
Broncos country is kind of riding
now,
dude. They're riding right now, bro. Good for them, man. They've had like a horrible offense for the past couple of years, and it's good to see them start to gain some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're kind of starting to slowly put it together. They're on a little. I think they're on a little win streak here.
5 games? Did they start off 1-5?
4-game win streak. They did start off 1-5.
Oh yeah, I can't fucking do math apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, really good offensive showing here. Not really good, but a solid offensive showing for Russell Wilson. And I mean, obviously Courtland Sutton kind of looking like the Broncos version of a DK Metcalf, guy who can, go up and grab jump balls, but then also, he's, really fast and can just run routes at an extremely great level.
He's grabbing balls really good.
He's very good at grabbing those balls, I will say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to look on the Viking side here of things here, Josh Dobbs kind of didn't look too great in this game. Kind of looked like the guy that you've seen with the Cardinals his last 4 or 5 games in Arizona, where it's just not as poised and not as what's the word I'm looking for? I would just say like I would just say not as poised and like just poor decision making. I would say with the football, but yeah, I mean that's really what you're gonna get with Josh Dobbs.
I will tell you though, Josh Dobbs did have a good drive towards the ending part of this game, where they were getting momentum, and then Alexander Madison just straight up gave the ball to the other team, which is very frustrating because they really did have a good drive going there. But yeah, I mean, didn't have his best game, but I still think that there's a positive environment in Minnesota still.
Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean you got to look at like how the names on this defense for the Vikings, and you got to say like, wow, Brian Flores might be like the best defensive coordinator.
Hey, Byron Murphy Jr., former Cardinal.
Yeah, he's definitely there. I will say that. But a guy I want to highlight on the Vikings defense is a guy like Ivan Pace, undrafted free agent. Been playing pretty solid all year. Didn't have the best game here. Had a couple of takeaway plays. Like I think
is that the dude with like the neck thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. I mean, you really do have to respect what Brian Flores has kind of done with this Vikings defense here.
Yeah, for sure.
Despite the loss.
You know what though? Like I know everyone's like really high on the Broncos right now, but if you look at the past 2 games they won, they're just very weird, gritty games where like they just get really lucky.
I mean, yeah, they
really fucking lucky.
Could have easily lost both of those games, especially the Bills one.
Oh my gosh, they should have.
Yeah, losing because or winning because DeMar Hamlin was the 12th man on the field there. Wild stuff.
Yikes. All right. So the Monday night game, kind of a letdown, honestly, as well, in my opinion. Towards the end of the game, it did get really good, but I'd say those first 3 quarters were just kind of. But the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kelsey Bowl, the family reunion, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Eagles beat the Chiefs 21-17.
Yeah, not to mention this was a Super Bowl rematch.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah, above all else, Super Bowl rematch. Probably, maybe even
Super Bowl preview.
No, Eagles Ravens or Niners Ravens.
It's entirely possible.
A Niners Ravens rematch would be sick, dude. That'd be tight.
I could see it,
and we beat them again, of course.
I would enjoy it. Seeing 2 different teams in there. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But anyways, Jalen Hurts doesn't look like fantastic in this game, but it was just once again just another gritty, weird win where the Eagles could have. I thought the Eagles were going to lose this game. 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Especially when Patrick Mahomes got the ball back towards the end of the game. I had a feeling they were going to lose. I remember I was watching this with my girlfriend, and she kind of said like, I almost feel like the team who gets the ball back, even though they're losing, when they get the ball back with 2 minutes left, kind of have the advantage because they score that touchdown, it's game over. There's no time left on the clock. And I'm like, that's kind of true, especially when you have someone like Patrick Mahomes. But no, the Eagles defense does step up. They do get lucky, very fucking lucky with that Valdez-Scantling drop. Man, that was brutal. I literally, oh my goodness, dude. I was watching this game and I tense up as I see that ball go right into his hands and he's wide open, and then that thing just flies out, and I didn't. Oh my dude! Obviously, I was going for the Eagles this whole game. I don't even have it pulled up here. My bad.
No, it's all good. I got it here.
I was going for the Eagles this game, just because I wanted the Ravens to have the first seed in the AFC, and I wanted to see Jason be able to beat Travis for the first time. But dude, I kind of felt bad for the guy.
For Travis?
No, for fucking MVS.
Bro. Oh, okay.
Dude.
I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, that's a really bad drop to
That's
have.
like death threats, like kind of drop. Dude.
Oh, for sure. Which is unfortunate, but I mean,
he didn't. That would have been his only catch of this game.
Yeah.
Instead, he has 0.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta catch that. I mean,
you gotta catch that, man.
That was elite ball placement by Patrick Mahomes.
That was a good fucking throw,
and I mean,
good play, and they got lucky because the Eagles just fell asleep. Apparently, I don't even know how they let that happen. But they somehow that he still dropped it. Man, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, I would just say overall, like a disaster class for the Chiefs receivers here. I mean, you saw drops everywhere. You saw Travis Kelce fumble the ball. You saw obviously the Scantling drop.
Travis Kelce had a drop in this game as well.
Yeah,
he made up for it on the 4th down conversion, but
yeah, just really really unfortunate stuff here for the Chiefs.
So this is that type of game where I look at it and I say the Eagles did not play good at all. They played decent, but the Eagles really did not have a good game. But they still get the win just because the Chiefs just kind of imploded on themselves.
Yeah, I mean overall, I'd say the Chiefs played the better game in spite of poor receivers here,
especially in that first half.
Yeah,
they were the better team.
Yeah, just not. They just, I mean, not a single point scored in the second half for the Chiefs.
Once again, that's the second time this has happened.
Yeah, and I mean,
in a row.
Yeah, and this receiving core I think is leading the entire NFL in drops.
Yeah,
and it's like what do you do?
It was either Noah Gray or it was Justin
Watson.
Justin Watson played good this game, but then he had an opportunity. Oh, here's the drop right there on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. I couldn't believe it.
That's crazy.
Even after that play, it was like 4th and 25 or something, and Justin Watson had the ball in his hands and dropped it. And he would have picked up the first down. So it's just rough, man. I mean, that's fucking annoying if you're Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, yeah.
You want to scream, but you can't really get mad at your teammates too much,
I mean, yeah. Just yeah, really unfortunate, I would say. You got I mean, if you want to go back and win another Super Bowl, I mean, you got to make catches like that.
Everyone's got to be on board.
Yeah, but I'll say shout out to L'Jarius Sneed holding AJ Brown to 1 reception for 8 yards.
Yeah, fucking impressive, dude.
Yeah,
that guy's been on a tear.
Yeah, this Chiefs defense has been fucking sick this year.
It's crazy, dude, to see like this team that's been so offensively driven become just a wall on defense, and that's their strong point.
I mean,
it's crazy.
I mean, and that's the thing. When you have a defensive coordinator like Dudu, I think his name's Steve Spagnuolo or something like that.
Spagnuolo or
yeah. Like you kind of have a guy who is not going to leave for another head coaching job, and he's just kind of going to stay there and help all these young players just develop, over time. That's how you build these extremely elite defenses with guys like I said, L'Jarius Sneed and Trey McDuffie. And Leo Chenal. I don't know if that's it. I think it's McDuffie or McDuffie, one of those two. And Leo Chenal and Willie Gay and Justin Reed and Chris Jones. I mean, just fantastic defensive play from the Chiefs here, even though they lose.
Yeah, man. Definitely looked like the better team, but the Eagles still had more points on the board than the Chiefs, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So, yeah.
All right, let's move into our awards for this this week.
Our of the weeks.
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
What are we starting with? Moment of the week?
Yeah, you just run through your your thing.
All right. So for my moment of the week, there really wasn't too many to pick from, but the one I chose was just Austin Eckler, looking like he was prime Eddie Lacy. I mean that was a big exclamation mark. So it's like, whoa. Because I mean, you're looking at this dude who has just been, an insanely reliable running back. Just, have zero acceleration on that play. That's brutal.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, that was the main moment I had. But for my players of the week for offense, not too many to choose from. I thought nobody really kind of stood out.
Not really.
So I'm with Calvin Ridley, just because it was kind of a bounce back game for him.
That was going to be one of mine.
And yeah, he had a really good game for the Jags. It was 7 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Kind of linking up with Trevor Lawrence. That's what you love to see, especially if you're the wide receiver 1. And on defense, I have an honorable mention in Jalen Ramsey, but I ended up giving this award to Blake Cashman, linebacker for the Houston Texans, because that dude had fucking 19 tackles.
Damn.
And a sack. So, look at the stats like that. I'm like, dude, I can't give this award to anybody else. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, any other week, Jalen Ramsey's probably winning this thing. But, yeah, for this week, I'm going to give it to Blake Cashman. Do you want me to do my risers and fallers?
Yeah, do your risers and fallers.
Okay, so, once again, it's kind of hard to pick some risers here, but I will go with the Broncos because, like we said, they are on a 4-game win streak. And, the teams they've beat there have been pretty good, too. there's really no slouches there. You've beaten the Packers, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Vikings. And so, yeah, I mean, let's ride Broncos country.
Broncos country's riding, man.
Yeah. And I also put the Browns just because, I mean, I did have them as a falling team after losing to Sean Watson for the rest of the season. But after seeing DTR in this one game, I don't know. I've kind of have a little bit of optimism that they can still maybe, try to grab that 7th seed in the playoffs. I mean, they're still in the playoff race right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then for my fallers, one, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
Anytime you lose your superstar quarterback, who's, one of the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL for the rest of the season, that's just going to be a huge blemish on your season. And then for the another falling team, I put the Commanders, because when you look as bad as you do against the New York Giants,
yes,
it's kind of hard to not put you there. So, yeah, those are my weekly awards. What do you got?
All right, so my moment of the week, I'm actually gonna go with, because you didn't say it. It was one of the two, but I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett picking up. Okay, well, first of all, not only did he pick up a Steelers helmet, but he also picked up Kenny Pickett's of all players on the field. It was the quarterbacks. For those of you who don't know or have been living under a rock, or new to the NFL, the reason that everyone overreacted when Myles Garrett picked up Kenny Pickett's helmet on Sunday was because I would say 3 seasons ago, the Steelers and Browns were playing each other primetime. Towards the end of the game, the Steelers' current quarterback, Mason Rudolph, got rid of the ball really quick, so he didn't take a sack. But Myles Garrett already had him wrapped up and then brought him down onto the ground for kind of no reason. Mason Rudolph got mad, started grabbing his head, trying to take Myles Garrett's helmet off on the ground. Myles Garrett then decided to grab Mason Rudolph's face mask, bring him up onto the stand him up with his face mask, and then take his helmet off and smack him in the head with it. It was the craziest thing I've seen happen in football, and probably since then. I don't think I've seen. Has there been anything crazier than that?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I can't, man. It was honestly crazy. Just like the reaction of it. People wanted Myles Garrett banned from the league, bro, and wanted him kicked out of the league for that. And what's ironic is the guy actually won Walter Payton Man of the Year. I think the next season.
He did.
It's so funny, dude. I think both players are in the wrong in that case. I don't think the man should have hit a dude in the head with a fucking helmet, man. That's crazy. You had to really hate somebody to do that. But also, I don't think Mason Rudolph should have tried to start it by taking his helmet off.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Steelers' current quarterback, Kenny Pickett, his helmet came off in that game, and so as soon as the Steelers saw Myles Garrett pick up that helmet, man, it was panic time. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, they said, "Wait a minute,"
and he was just like, "I'm just trying to help, man. He knew what he was doing, bro. He knew what he was doing. Anyways, that was just a really funny moment.
Yeah, I agree.
My offensive player of the week, I'm gonna go with Tank Dell from the Houston Texans. He didn't really have like an in-your-face type of stat line, but if you watch the game, that guy was just like always open. And you were just seeing this week after week where Tank Dell, a lot of people saying, this guy can't be successful at the NFL level. He's not going to be, but, with his stature and everything, the dude is like a midget out there, but he is putting up numbers, bro. And he's showing that it doesn't matter how big he is. He's like a little mini Tyreek almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just looks fantastic. Really good game against the Cardinals. And like you said, in a week where there's not a lot of players to choose from, Brock Purdy would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Probably my backup. But yeah, man, good for Tank Dell. Definitely had a big impact on that game against Arizona. Yeah, my defensive player, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're a receiver and you're being covered by Marco Wilson, it's going to be pretty easy to win this award.
Yeah. The guy who threw a shoe to lose a game.
Yeah, shout out Marco Wilson.
Definitely not going to make necessarily good decisions.
Yep.
Anyways, my defensive player of the week, I also was going to go with Jalen Ramsey with 2 picks against the Raiders. But I'm actually going to go with Deron Bland here.
Bland, yeah.
He had a pick 6 against the Panthers. And I know it was against the Panthers, who are kind of a pick six factory right now with Bryce Young. But an interesting stat, Deron Bland, who stepped up since Trayvon Diggs has been out, has had 4 pick sixes this season, which is the first time this has ever happened since 1993 or something crazy like that. A long ass time. So shout out to Deron Bland. The season's not even over yet or close to over. Still got like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. I mean, he's played really well this year as well.
Actually, they're 7-3. They still have 7 more games to completely destroy that record. So that's pretty cool. Good for Deron Bland, who's been honestly like all pro level this year in place of Trayvon Diggs. And then what is our riser and fallers?
Yeah.
So my riser, I'll keep it simple. My riser, I had the New York Giants, and like I said earlier, I know they're not going to be doing anything this season. But when you beat a team like the Commanders and you make them melt down like that at home, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I think it goes to show how good of a coach
Brian
Daboll is, where he can get this team together and win a game like that when their season has been just a pure nightmare feel. So good for them. And this is Washington Commanders team is a team that's nearly beaten the Eagles twice this season. They've had some pretty good games. So
yeah,
good for the Giants. And then my fallers, I'm gonna keep it easy. Bengals. Just absolute roller coaster season for Cincinnati fans. I kind of feel for you, but welcome to being a Ravens fan, man. Yeah, man. That was week 11.
Yeah,
in the books. Jeremiah, what do you think? Oh, you're not here anymore. I'm sorry. All right, let's move on to our pick'ems for this next week 12. And since Jeremiah is not here, and
well, he did send us his pick'ems.
So did he?
He did. Yeah.
Well,
sent us a little screen recording of his pick'ems here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out Jeremiah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not actually kicked off the show, by the way.
What's that?
Not actually kicked off by the show, by the way.
No, he just died. R.I.P.
After sending us his pick'ems.
Yeah, we were like, he sent us a text that he was dying, or his family did, and we were like, yo, can you send us your pick'ems first? And he came through and sent it. So R.I.P. Jeremiah. But shout out to my boy for sending us our pick'ems so we could go through and cook again.
Yeah.
All right, so the starting off on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Cheeky little Thanksgiving episode, by the way. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. By the time this episode gets out, it will be Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all have a good time with your family. I watched some football, man. Not really like that good games, but
it's an okay slate.
They should have saved the Chiefs-Eagles game for this, in my opinion. Anyways, Packers versus the Lions on Thursday morning. I mean, pretty easy for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, gonna be a fun little game to watch, when we get home from our Turkey Bowl. But
yeah, man, I'm so excited for that, dude.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna roll with the Lions here.
All right, Lions. Did you say Lions?
He did.
Doesn't matter,
anyways.
All right, Commanders versus the Cowboys.
I think this might be another sweep for the Cowboys here.
Another sweep for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
What did he put?
Cowboys.
Guys, you know what? I'm going Commanders.
Oh, you're going to do the thing?
No, I'm not doing the thing. I actually was going the Commanders. I think this is about the time that the Cowboys just randomly implode at home and the Commanders bounce back. I'm going Commanders, dude. But we'll go Cowboys for the majority. 49ers versus the Seahawks. I know this is in Seattle, but you're going to have a banged up Geno Smith, and you got the Niners who are rolling again now. I'm going Niners.
Yeah, we're gonna go with another clean sweep here with the Niners.
Nice.
So
he went Niners too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then a Black Friday game.
Black Friday, yeah.
I was very confused when I saw this, but apparently NFL is doing games on Black Friday. Yeah. Okay. But it is a Prime game, Amazon Prime game, so it's probably going to be horrible. And with this matchup, it probably was going to be horrible no matter what. Let me get the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's gonna be another clean sweep for the Dolphins.
Some easy matchups here again.
Yeah, easy little star for us here.
This one's gonna be harder for me. Saints versus the Falcons, two very mid teams.
Yeah,
it is in Atlanta. My gut tells me to go with Atlanta, but at the same time, I'm a huge Arthur Smith fucking hater.
I think we all are.
So I don't want to go with Atlanta. I want to go with New Orleans. Is Jameis playing this game?
I think Derek Carr is gonna be in this game.
Nah, dude. If it was Jameis, I would have taken New Orleans.
You're going with the Falcons?
I think I'm going with the Falcons. Not because I like you, Arthur Smith. Has nothing to do with you. I like the matchup at home. And I think they've been kind of playing like shit recently. So not because of Arthur Smith, but I think because the players want to bounce back. I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in agreement here with you. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I haven't been moved by the Saints at all this year. I mean, I know they'll probably be in the playoffs just because you have to have an NFC South team in there. But I mean, if it were up to me, I'd have 0 NFC South teams in there. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I'll just go with the Falcons for this game.
Okay.
And then Jeremiah did go with the Saints, so maybe he'll prove us wrong. We'll see what happens.
All right, the Steelers versus the Bengals. Biggest thing I've learned. Well, never mind. I can't say that anymore. I would say the biggest thing I've learned is when you have an inexperienced young quarterback going against the Steelers defense, always go for the Steelers. But you can't say that anymore because DTR just pulled out a win out of his ass. I still think I'm going with the Steelers, though. I know it's at home, but the Bengals the morale in that locker room has to be atrocious after that injury. And the Steelers are going to be bouncing back with a Matt Canada firing. Who is the Steelers interim offensive coordinator? Just curious.
I don't think they've named one yet.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, I think the offense should maybe take a step up, but I still think Kenny Pickett's not good. Like, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see if I can maybe find some information for you there.
I'm gonna go Steelers though in this one.
I'm also gonna go with the Steelers, so it's gonna be a clean sweep for the Steelers there.
Jeremiah went Steelers too.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right. This next game, we have the Panthers going against the Tennessee Titans. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna go with the Titans. They've lost a couple. I think they'll bounce back in this one.
Panthers, Titans. Hold on, let me find that real quick. I'm gonna go. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go with the Titans here.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be a clean sweep for the Titans.
Okay, cool. So. Buccaneers versus the Colts. This is another hard one.
Yeah.
A lot of like mid-offs that are just kind of hard to pick.
This is probably the most mid of the mid-offs, I'd say. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers, just because I think their defense will hold the Colts to enough points to where where Baker Mayfield and the Bucs offense will score more than them. So
I'm gonna go Buccaneers as well, because I think their offense is a little bit more explosive than the Colts. And yeah, the Colts should just release Shaquille Leonard. By the way,
they did. We didn't even
that
talk
was
about that. Yeah,
very surprising.
Yeah,
he hasn't been as good this year, but man, what a fucking drop off. Remember when that guy was supposed to be like a defense player of the year candidate every year?
Yeah, and I mean it's just kind of been a slow downfall ever since. He got paid, it seems, and it led to him getting released, and now he's just a free agent, just chilling.
But you know what? Shout out to my boy. He was passing out turkeys right after. There was a video of him passing out turkeys right after he got released.
Yeah.
To people in Indy, so that's pretty cool. But we went Bucks. What do you say?
He went with the Colts.
Okay.
So
I feel like me and you are usually on the agreement of things, and so Jeremiah is the cheeky one.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
Patriots versus Giants. Well, would have been an exciting matchup, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah, when they met in the Super Bowl twice.
Now is just a atrocious matchup.
Yeah, I will not be paying attention to this game.
I'm going to go Patriots.
He said Giants, by the way. I don't really know.
You're a tiebreaker, man.
Hold on. Let me see what I was thinking when I made my own pick.
Weren't the Patriots on a bye?
Yeah, they were. They're coming off a bye.
All right. I think they come back a little bit better, but
literally didn't even pick this game because I didn't know who to pick, dude.
No, it doesn't even matter, dude. Like, who cares?
Fuck it, dude. I'll go with the Giants.
All right.
I'll ride Tommy DeVito. And the fucking Sopranos over there.
Fucking Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Make my fucking chicken cutlet, mama. That's a horrible Italian accent. My gosh. I need to watch The Godfather so I can perfect it again. Dude, Tommy DeVito is kind of like a young Robert De Niro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
He's like a taxi driver, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
All right. Jaguars versus the Texans. Like, surprisingly, very solid matchup. One of the best matchups this week.
Yeah, it's probably game of the week, I'd say.
Yeah, dude, this is awesome. But I'm going to go Houston here, and I'll give you my reason why. The Houston Texans have dominated the Jaguars in their all-time matchups.
Yeah, I think they did meet earlier this year, and the Texans did win. So,
but let me look this up. I want to say the Texans are 29-14 against the Jaguars.
That's a very good record. It's a very good record to have against a division rival.
Texans record versus Jaguars. 29-14. That's gnarly, dude.
There you go. Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Texans here. I know I'm a Trevor Lawrence believer, but I mean, you saw these teams play earlier, and like I said, the Texans won that pretty easily. So it's gonna be a clean sweep here for the Texans.
All right, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Denver Broncos. This is gonna be another one of those 13-10 games probably. I'm gonna go the Broncos just because they are on a win streak right now. They have a lot of morale in that locker room. And the Cleveland Browns, while they did get a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going up against another, and it's going to sound weird if they gave up 70 points earlier this season, but they have been dialed in
their
past
defense,
4 games.
Yeah, their defense has looked a lot better as of late. Shout out Vance Joseph. It pains me to say that as a Cardinals fan every single week, but he's done a pretty good job with the Broncos defense.
I'm going Broncos.
Yeah.
I'm riding.
I think I'm going to go Broncos as well, and it's going to make it another clean sweep, which is surprising here.
He went Broncos as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't see anything like too inspiring from DTR outside of that 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything from the run game from the Browns. I just think it was more of a other than Jalen Warren, a complete ugly mess of a game from this Steelers offense more than the Browns playing well.
I mean, yeah, it was so bad for the Steelers they had to finally fire Matt Canada.
Yeah.
So I think it was their first firing of a coach or a coordinator ever in their franchise
No,
history.
so I actually saw this right before you came over. It's the first midseason coaching change for the Steelers since some dude in 1940 something fired himself as head coach. He was the owner. He was the half owner of the team, and he fired himself as head coach. That was the last time that the Steelers have ever made a midseason.
My man got bored of coaching. So no, this ain't for me.
I wonder what that was like, man. Did he sit himself down in the office and was like, "Hey, you're ass. Hey, I know. All right, let's stop." All right. Next game, the Los Angeles Rams defeated the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm reading this like this. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals.
This is in Glendale. I mean, these teams met earlier. The Rams won, but that was with Josh Dobbs when he was very bad. Oh, man. I'm still going to go with the Rams, though.
I'm going Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals at home.
Better lock in the Cardinals, brother, because he also went with the Cardinals.
Dude, fuck yeah, bro. I'm going Cardinals, man. I think Kyler Murray bounces back. And the Rams, I don't think the Rams look good at all against the Seahawks. I think it was kind of like a Chiefs-Eagles kind of.
Where it's like the losing team looked better, but they just happened to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So not really inspiring from the Rams, and we don't know how long Cooper. Do you know? Have you heard anything any updates about Cooper Kupp?
I've not. I don't think I have anything.
We don't know how long we're missing that dude, and that's gonna suck. That's brutal for the Rams, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't know anything about Cooper Kupp's injury. So.
This next game, Chiefs versus the Raiders. First time we're seeing these two teams play this year.
Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. What did he say?
Sweep for the Chiefs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I do think this will be a gritty game. I think it'll be final score will be like Chiefs 17, Raiders 13. AOC will probably throw the game-losing interception or something. I don't know, but I think the Chiefs will win, bounce back against that from that loss to the Eagles.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think this will be a bounce back win for the Chiefs as well.
I think this right here is where you prove your nuggets as a Bills, man. Um, if you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 9-1 right now,
in Philly,
or at least bring it close, then hey, man, maybe you're back in that playoff conversation. But the Bills could be 6-6 after this game. So we have the Bills versus the Eagles. I'm gonna go Bills. I'm going Bills. I don't think they'll let themselves drop to 6-6. I think the new OC, Joe Brady, maybe will figure out something against this Eagles defense. And the Eagles did not look good last week.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said, and I think I'm also going to ride with the Bills here.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I
I
think
could see a bounce back statement game for the Bills here.
yeah, I mean, I think this could be. I mean, either the Bills come out and just win this game and show that they are still like a contending team, or I mean, either the Eagles come out and just look like the Eagles.
Ravens versus the Chargers, easy for me. Every time it's a Ravens game, give me the Ravens. I have a weird feeling about this game. I don't like, but I still think the Ravens are gonna win.
Yeah, it could be the Ravens as well. I think the Charger defense without Joey Bosa heading to IR,
That's a hard loss.
Another loss. I think this is where you see the Ravens score like 45, and then you see all of Twitter calling for Brandon Staley's head. So.
Did you see that video of it was like Eric Armstead interviewing Nick Bosa, and he was like, "Give me your top 5 pass rushers," and this dude said his brother Joey and Max Crosby, and then really didn't give another answer. I'm not kidding, bro. Hold on, let me.
That's so on brand for Nick Bosa, dude.
All the comments. As soon as I watched that video, I went straight to the comments, dude. Oh man, cracking that whip, dude. Nick Bosa. You know damn well your brother's not in the top 5, bro. Come on.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just like,
like he's not even hiding at this point.
No, he's not. Dude, I think he might be playing into it at this point. He has to.
Yeah. But
it's like the same time.
He probably thinks it's funny.
Yeah, no. He has to, dude. There's no fucking way.
All right, this next game, the Bears versus the Vikings on Monday night. I don't know, dude. Who freaking cares? Give me the Vikings. Actually, what am I saying? Who freaking cares? I just don't care about the Bears, but the Vikings I definitely do care about, and I want to see them 7-5. Give me the Vikes.
Honestly, I was kind of leaning Vikings, but I think I'm gonna go with the Bears here after seeing kind of how Josh Dobbs played in that Sunday night game. It kind of makes me feel a little less confident about this offense here.
I will say this: the Bears defense has looked a little bit better since at least not I don't want to say better, but Josh Montez. I'm sorry, I get them mixed up. Montez Sweat has looked good.
Yeah,
he's made an impact on this defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the type of pass rusher that you'd love to add to your team, and they got him. So yeah, but I mean Jeremiah also picked the Vikings, so you're gonna have to lock in the Vikings there, brother.
Nice. All right, so I did find the video.
All right,
let me.
And that concludes our pick'ems, by the way.
That concludes our pick'ems. Let's see if we cook again. We are, dude. We're freaking 32-10. That's nuts.
It's a fantastic record to have.
That's awesome, man. We'll see. We'll see. Even by Thursday, if we're cooking it by tomorrow. So
see if we continue our hot streak.
Yeah, that concludes the NFL portion. I do have this video. Let me see if I can find where he says it at. This is us right now, dude.
Yeah.
He's probably using the same mic. No, probably not. I don't know. It kind of looks the same.
It looks very similar to the mics we use.
Just how he gets the moves, he wins at a high rate.
I think it's right at the beginning.
For sure. Other than that, I think those that we tend to go to, but have different strengths about us. Similar.
All right.
Enjoy watching.
All right.
Who are your top 5 edge rushers, guys that you respect and enjoy watching?
Definitely, I'd say my brother. I got to throw him in right away. I think we rush similar in a lot of ways, but
shouting out his brother,
also
though.
Yeah. I mean, his
have
brother's a really
different
good edge rusher.
strengths about
He's a
us
good
that
edger.
we tend to go to. But other than that, I think Crosby for sure. Just the effort he plays with and his skill set, his moves, just everything comes really natural, and he changes everything up. We talk a little bit.
Crosby is a good pick,
Not too
though.
much, but
Yeah.
He's in that
if I'm
Mount.
playing a team and
He's right up there
playing,
with Miles
I'm
Garrett, where he's
definitely
like changing
checking out
games.
his tape,
Yeah.
his swipes, and just how he gets to moves. He wins at a high rate, which
very fluid. He's a very fluid athlete.
yeah, and he's definitely one of the best guys in the league for sure. And then who else? Name some guys.
He's like Miles.
He said,
Miles and Mike.
He said, name some guys. He can't think of anybody else. He said the two whitest fucking dudes in the league.
Not that
His next one's probably
Aiden
Aiden Hutchinson or something, bro.
Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't say T.J. Watt.
Oh yeah,
Like,
dude,
I'm shocked you left
one.
him off, dude.
Every single play.
But,
wow.
So
Yeah.
I think it's so
how
funny. It
league
says
guys-
those two right off the bat, and then
Yeah, that's hilarious.
it starts to struggle. But
It's
shout out to my
gotta
boy.
be playing it a bit, dude.
He stands by it, man. Have you seen that video of when he signed his contract extension and
Oh yeah, I think
like clapped his hand against I forget the John Lynch's, I think is his name.
Yeah, the
owner of
GM.
Niners or GM.
Yeah.
And dude, it like was so fucking loud. It was crazy. Like, yeah, it's like a sonic boom, bro. Anyways, that wraps up NFL Week 11. Tell us what your guys' favorite moment of the week is. I'm gonna turn on this light real quick because it's starting to get dark outside, so you guys can see us. We don't really have that much longer, but
Yeah, we're getting to wind it down here, but yeah, let us know what you guys thought of this week. You know, who were your players of the week? You know, shout out your moment of the week. You know, maybe you got a different one than us. Maybe you got the same.
yeah.
So let us know.
Risers and fallers as well. Tell us how excited you guys are for Thanksgiving, some Thanksgiving football.
Yeah.
But do you have anything for basketball?
I mean, I did rep my my City Edition DeAndre Ayton jersey today. Because last night we did see DeAndre Ayton make his return to the Valley, and we saw the Suns win against the Trailblazers, and they're starting to pick it up and finally look like the contending team that all the Valley fans thought they could be. And yeah, it was just good to see them get another win. Shout out to Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, really showing that they are probably the best duo in the NBA, in my opinion. Definitely not biased at all or anything. But yeah, that's really all I got to say for the NBA. It's not really too much happening this week. Not a lot of important things went on. So yeah, I'd really say, unless you have anything else to add for basketball, it's really all I got.
No, I probably gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen much basketball. I did see Scoot Henderson got sent to the G League. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
He got sent to the G League.
Was that today?
Might have been today. I just saw it today on Instagram. But for conditioning, I do hope he gets
like a rehab
better.
assignment, right?
But the dude is shooting 9% from three, which is kind of
Yeah,
rough.
he's been pretty bad so far. But he's only like 5 games into the season, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's. If you have anything for baseball.
Yeah.
Go
Free agency
ahead.
just started for baseball, and not too many big signings have happened yet. You know, you saw the Cardinals pick up a couple washed pitchers for whatever reason. I guess they don't like to spend money and be good, but yeah. And then for the Diamondbacks, they did make a trade for third baseman from the Mariners, Eugenio Suarez. Really good pickup there for them. You know, definitely a position of need for them. So I'm glad they make them pick up. I'm glad they made that pickup as a D-backs fan, because that was something they really needed, especially a power guy over at the hot corner. But yeah, that's really all we've got for this week. So
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. R.I.P. Jeremiah. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. But I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. We are thankful for all of you who are listening.
and we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, man. Have fun with your families. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Later.